Yes, Alexei. Yes, Alexei. Pick up
You're
Alexei.
never gonna fucking shut up. I was standing in that doorway for seemed like hours. It was also interesting. Talal does does improv, which I have to pretend not to hate.
Very badly, yeah.
What is it? What are they called? Your group?
We're called The Bazaar, by the way. Yeah, we're the first ever British, Middle Eastern, North African improv group. We're called The Bazaar.
Doesn't that sound great?
We do. What the fuck? Our show's called Arabian Night Live. It's fucking great. We do like magical, mystical stuff.
But just before we went on, Talal looked at me. Well, yeah, Talal looked meaningfully into my eyes, and he said, we always say before we do improv, we say to each other, "I've got your back."
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, "Aren't you going to say that to me?" I said, "Fuck no." If it comes down to it, you or me, I will throw you to the comedy wolves.
And I said, "Well, I've got your back anyway."
Without giving it a moment's thought, I would sacrifice you.
He's joking, guys. He's joking. He is joking.
This is
episode 81.
81, episode 81 of the Alexei podcast, and we just just came up with the idea really of trying to do something more public facing, I think is the phrase. Just do some what's wrong?
Just
all right.
Carry on. Public facing, you said.
Yeah, public facing, and just get out and and
we're doing some live shows, is what he's trying to say, which they all are very aware of.
Yeah, because you're here. Yeah. I got completely lost there. I was in a hotel room in Rill there. I was like, I was not paying attention. It's very very unplanned, very unstructured. I actually. I did another podcast this week. A guy called Mike Fenton Stevens. That's a good podcast, that one. And Mike Fenton Stevens was actually years ago was one of the Heebie-Jeebies. I don't know if you remember them. They were a parody. They were a group that parodied Bee Gees songs. Oh, a fairly limited. Appeal, really, but their one hit was meaningless songs in very high voices, which really offended the Bee Gees themselves. They couldn't take a joke, the Bee Gees, apparently. Who'd have thought? But they're great musicians. But so Mike was also Angus Deaton, of course, and it was in the Heebie-Jeebies, yeah. Phil Pope and the late Jeffrey Perkins, who was producer of Blackadder and various stuff like that. That was anyway. So I was just talking. He had is called is actually one of the things was his podcast is much more popular than ours. And so partly Linda looked it up on her phone and it says his formerly podcast of the week in the Sunday Times, and Mike has done over 500 podcasts. And then she went to mine, and it said, if the Alexei podcast, you will not be disappointed unless you're expecting something other than an old man talking crap.
You wrote that.
I know.
You wrote that, Alexei.
So it might probably. So
what's so special about his fucking podcast? What makes it
his son does it, and he makes a living and can keep his family, and it's not because you can't. I'm still paying you.
What's so special? What makes his podcast stand out, do you think?
What he's got? It's called
Time Capsule.
Time Capsule.
So
yeah.
what's the format? What's the
idea?
And
you choose 4 things that you'd bury in a time capsule, and then 1 thing you'd like left behind. And I chose the T-34. I couldn't imagine fucking T-34 tank. tuna sandwiches.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the other ones were. I was really good. I was really flowing on it. That was fantastic.
Yeah?
On it. Yeah, I was
You're doing all right
loquacious
tonight as well,
yeah, I
so
suppose
far.
so. Yeah, but it's more interesting. It's more interesting. More cerebral. I think it was the thing that I wanted to have left behind was the Labour Party. I chose the Labour Party.
But it does wind me up sometimes how you do give other people your best stuff, really.
Yeah.
Is there a greater kind of premise? Like, who's digging up this time capsule? Is that covered at all? Is that discussed?
No,
Is it
it's
like
just,
aliens in the future.
It's just a format to.
Okay.
But this whereas we've got no format whatsoever. It's just a kind of kind of like a blancmange kind of. So we thought Linda came up with what was it? 3 things you should be annoyed about.
Yeah.
Sort of reminds me of when in Early Family Guy, isn't it? When Peter gets on, he gets a segment on the local TV station. It's called "What Grinds My Gears."
Yeah. So what's getting Alexei's goat?
Well,
And so that's a segment. So Linda started pitching segments.
Yeah.
Why can't you be more like Mike's podcast and do some fun formats and segments?
Yeah.
So we might test out a segment on you guys.
I kind of like the unstructured nature of it. So,
yeah. Let's try it out.
But let's try it.
All
Hey,
right, let me
3 things you should. Well, Linda, this Labour this week. Hey, and in a week when years ago. And in a week when years ago, my first kind of big outing on TV was a live TV show called, which some of you older members may remember, called OTT, and it was catastrophic, really. Lenny's got a great, because Lenny Henry was in it as well. He comes back home, and everybody, his big family home, and he can't. Everybody's like, he sees just people scuttling out the way after the show, and then he's having a bath, and he can hear them whispering outside his door. And then his agent rings up the next morning and says, "It's a dog's breakfast, Lenny. I'll buy you out." Anyway, but you used to have to open with this. And in a week when with a topical gag, and it was always absolute shit. I mean, I hate kind of topical material anyway, but I did the one that was written for me by my late friend David Stafford. I remember one week I do, and in a week when man lands on the moon and milk goes up to threepence, I think, is my newsagent ripping me off.
That's
a good gag.
Nice,
it's a good gag.
And they would follow that same formula every week.
Yeah, everybody had to do these fucking lame-ass topical jokes. Fucking,
all right.
Fucking.
All right, harness that energy.
So bad.
I'm going to tee you up, all right?
Yeah,
all right, guys, time for our next segment of the show, of course. 5 minutes in, it's time for our first segment. Alexei, tell me, what 3 things are winding you up this week?
I've only got 2, actually.
What 2 things are winding you up this week?
I did. Have I got news for you? Twice, and then, but 1 week and then I think it was too close to Angus. I haven't been on since the 90s. But 1 week, Harry Thompson, the producer, rang me up and said, Ian Hislop's in hospital with appendicitis, and can you just come in and stand by to be team captain?
Whoa.
So I was really excited. I was going to be the other team captain. And just before they were about to start recording, Hislop staggered through the door, and he'd pulled all the wires out of his body and stuff like that. I fucking did it. Fucking, he was that desperate to fucking not let me do it. Not let like a real satirical voice on, you know what I mean? Somebody who'd really stick it to the government. He fucking discharged himself from hospital, pulling tubes out of his throat and
cut his own appendix out.
Walking over fucking Blackfriars Bridge in one of them gowns with his arse hanging out. So that was, anyway, they gave me 500 quid and I just sat there. But I mean, it was Still have
Was that thing number one?
No, that's how we...
Can we do the segment?
Topical.
What
All
things are winding you up? This Alexei, two things.
Labour have announced that they're going to... The fly tipping, they're going to... fly tippers, they're going to surveil them with drones, and then they're going to crush their vehicles. And Linda was looking on the internet, and somebody said on the internet that they've got drones up looking for anybody who's streaming Kneecap. And they'll crush their MP3 players. I think it must be quite an old person. And they'll crush their gramophones. But I think, it's interesting clearly the entire furore around Kneecap is entirely to do with them being punished for the stuff at Coachella, speaking out against Israel. And so, like fucking Brendan Cox, for instance, the fucking cunt, wife of Joe, husband of Joe Cox, sex pest.
What?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Allegedly. What the fuck? He's a widower. Take it easy on him.
But he said, but also,
what did he say?
He said that they because they
because
dug up some stuff
at a
about
Kneecap gig, they were like, kill your local MP. The only good Tory is a dead one.
Yeah, I used to have this. There used to be a charity in London years ago. Capital Radio used to sponsor it, called Help a London Child. And I used to do a bit where I say, help a London child kill a social worker. But you couldn't do that now, could you, really? You couldn't. You couldn't. That's why they didn't want me on Have I Got News for You? I kind of fucking material. I fucking stick it to the fucking social workers. But I don't want to put you on the spot, but I know our joint agent Michelle is here tonight, and you represent Rich Pepiat, who did the movie for Kneecap. You're not representing them as well, are you? You don't have to. No, presumably their agent is busy. Have you heard how they're?
Their manager has been really fucking great. Actually,
yeah.
He's been going out and speaking out and defending them. Because they're taking shit they've said on stage as part of their artistic performance.
Yeah.
And their whole shtick is all about anti-imperialism and fucking kicking out the Brits and very left-wing fucking extreme kind of... But that's kind of their persona, their on-stage persona. And like, imagine the shit you've said on stage and being dragged out.
Taken out of context.
And now you're being hauled into court because of shit you've said on stage. Like, you've threatened to kill Lib Dems like hundreds of times.
Yeah.
On stage.
I've got your back.
Oh, now he does. Thanks, Lex. Finally.
Yeah, called Princess Di a cockroach. I've said all kinds of shit. Yeah, I do wonder, because there's that song I did in Stuffers, I played that funky music Jewish boy, which they could probably be used against me now. There's probably some tropes in there. So I can't remember. I haven't seen it for years, but But that's certainly, it is that, you can clearly see a line between them condemning Israel and... Sorry.
Cough right into the microphone, if you don't mind.
That's another gag I used to... Did I talk about that on? That's another gag I used to. I used to, when I was doing stand-up, I used to fake a cough and then to say, sorry, I've got bit of a frog in me throat. I've been giving a blowjob to Charles Aznavour. And then, that's the only thing, I did that joke for like 20 years. And the only thing, after about 12 years, to update it, I changed it to Gerard Depardieu. But that's both probably homophobic and racist. Yeah. So that's another one they could get. That's a twofer, really.
Who would it be now if you were to update it again?
I don't know. I wouldn't. And then I used to say I've been sucking a fisherman's friend all day.
And what was his name?
Exactly.
All right, Alexei, what else has been winding you up this week?
Well, this is the other thing that Linda knows, which actually isn't. I don't know whether comedic gold is in this, really. But there's lots of.
Stop shoving Linda under the bus.
I haven't.
You're in charge. You're in front of the microphone.
You ungrateful bastard.
Yeah! You tell him.
What am
I got your back. Shut up, Linda. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Big forest fires near Jerusalem because the Jewish National Fund planted fast-growing pine trees as a kind of land grab.
Wow.
Where's the comedy fucking?
That's where you come in.
That's where I come in.
Why is that wound you? Why is that wound you up? You should be happy that Israel's burning down.
Yeah. Michelle, can you get me Kneecap's lawyer, please?
This is interesting because in order to claim more land, there's a big Israeli charity that plants lots of trees, and they plant lots of fast-growing trees, and these fast-growing trees are not native to that land at all, so they're not used to that climate. No. And so they're basically planting tinder in like vast swathes across Israel, and this shit like just combusts regularly, and that's really annoying, isn't it, Alexei?
That really grinds my gears, Talal.
Because they could just, let the houses stay there, the ones that belong to the Palestinians.
Yes, that'd be a good
infuriating.
Idea. Yeah.
And they're going around burning olive trees intentionally as well.
I know.
And it's quite infuriating, isn't it?
Yeah.
They weren't all going to be funny. Some of them would be a bit serious.
Well, that's it's
damn,
it's chaotic, isn't it? It's not. Yeah, it's all right, but.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do three things.
Look,
three things you should be angry about.
Yeah, it should be a joke one, and then a one that sucks all the energy out of the room, like that one did. and then another joke one after that. What do you think? So we need a quicker. We need a joke one now. We'll do the one that Linda said about the guy in the pub
It's just a bloke got in our way when we were walking.
Do that, but pretend it was you and get really annoyed about it.
I was walking out the Lady Otterline Morel. I was walking past the Lady Otterline Morel, which is a pub in Bloomsbury, and there was a man got in our way, and it was really annoying.
That was a segment, guys. That was our segment. Our first ever segment. Our first ever segment. Incredible stuff. Whew. We did it. I'll tick that. What?
Yeah.
Great. Did you watch The Settlers by Louis Theroux?
I haven't seen it yet. I think we
neither.
Should,
okay.
Yeah.
Next.
I should watch it.
It's good though. Like finally, a white guy is doing it, so people are listening.
Yeah, and
it's interesting. It's funny how that happens, isn't it? A very posh Oxford white man is talking about settlers, and now suddenly people care about it.
Yeah,
fascinating stuff.
It's a start. I suppose after 18 months of genocide, it's a start. People are starting to notice it's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's wild that.
See, I could suck the energy out of the room as well. Just as well as you.
No, I can do it better.
Go and ask me some questions then.
All right, genocide. Green Party, I meant to say.
The Green Party?
Yeah, look, a lot of people are wondering. I've actually had messages asking what you think of the Green Party. They're like, we always talk about starting a new party. Why don't we start a new party that is really properly leftist, socialist party? But like, why are you ignoring the Green Party? Isn't that what they're there for? Why shouldn't we be just putting everything behind them and supporting them? They're established. They've got roots in our society. And actually, recently, I just saw their news. Who saw the new Green Party campaign video that they've put out? They put this video as like some town up north.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not represented by these people. And it's like a big gruff bloke in a pub with like tattoos on his neck. Yeah, and he's holding a pint in this video. And he's like, my government don't represent me, and they're trying to put all the blame on these immigrants. They're just constantly putting us against, and they're saying stuff that's, very true. You know? And then there's like a diverse cast. It will cut to like a woman in a hijab, and then it will cut to like,
I'm voting reform, I think, of this.
Like a mother, a housewife, a factory worker, all this. Yeah. And they're all just saying, they keep trying to put us against each other when really we need a new system, a new government, new type of government. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, fucking, hey.
Yeah.
But so, like, why aren't we putting all our eggs in the green basket?
I mean, it's Lib Debs on bicycles, isn't it? I mean, it's.
Why? Why do you say that?
I think it's. Well,
Why do you say that?
I don't know a huge amount about the Greens really, but I mean, I think they're a very broad church. They go from, people we would absolutely. I mean, like our friend of the show, Khan Ross, who came on to talk about Rojava, for instance, is their spokesperson for foreign affairs.
Really?
And obviously Zach Polanski. Is very good. It's very good on genocide. But I think some of them are. He's not really. No,
not related to Roman.
No. But some of the others.
They are putting.
But the others are. I mean, they can go all the way to quite Zionist. Now, of course, obviously the Greens in Germany are a fucking disgrace. Really. I mean, just fucking. Just. We got another friend of the show, Adam Bloomberg, haven't we? He's a friend of ours.
Yes.
He's been on the show a couple of times. He's a Jewish South African, lives in Berlin obviously. And, they had this little ceremony where just Jewish people lighting candles for the... to memorialize how many people have been killed. Well, it was probably a year ago, and they were immediately attacked by the riot police. And so Adam is facing this giant kind of Aryan riot policeman. He looks up at him and he says, "Where were your grandparents during the war?" Yeah. I thought that'd get a big laugh.
No, it's all right. It's very poignant.
All right. I thought it'd get a laugh.
But we're talking about the Green Party.
Yeah, so they're. I mean, everybody even Die Linke, the left in Germany,
they're doing a lot of campaigning right now. They're trying to put a lot of because there's lots of little elections coming up, by-elections,
local elections,
and they're putting candidates. There's a noise happening back there. Someone playing a video on their phone. Oh no! Please forgive me. I think that's.
What is it? Is it a message? Is it? Is it Jesus? Jesus, can you hear me?
It's all right. There we go.
Stop now?
Thank you very much. And so they're putting they're trying to like youthify and leftify their image. Would you give them space to maybe improve their image?
Yeah, I mean, I think if there's if it's standing in your area, there's either a councillors who are pro-Palestine, anti-Gaza, I would vote for them first. But then if
anti-Gaza,
anti the genocide, in Gaza. But otherwise, vote Green. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Yeah, ringing endorsement.
I didn't know there were Zionists in the Green Party. I thought that does seem to go against.
Caroline Lucas was pretty bad during the Jeremy smear. Thank you. Yeah, she kind of bought into that really, which I thought was pretty despicable. Really.
Was she just using that as political fodder to help herself, which is still despicable?
I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, she bought into it for whatever reason. Because.
Oh shit! You left your wine in the green room, didn't you?
Yeah, no.
Do you want to? Shall I ask someone to bring it?
No. Okay. I don't drink until I've finished. As I'm a professional.
Got your back. All right. Okay. That's green. I think it's time for another segment, Alexei.
segment on the Alexei and Talal podcast.
All right, I'm gonna. Oh my god! You know what? Before the segment, because the internet's struggling.
I thought you were gonna. Well.
I do have it, but I just opened my laptop and it's not connecting to the Wi-Fi here because we're in a bomb shelter. So I'll go to a question from our Patreon. All right. Have you seen The Settlers? No, we've done that. What's your favourite pub in Liverpool, past or present? These can be quick fire.
Cavanagh or the Philharmonic, I suppose. I should have a really funny story about something that happened. Anything funny happened in a pub in Liverpool, Linda? Like something really funny. Oh, yeah, that was when we were first going out, and I had long hair and a beard.
What happened?
And a bloke came up to me. He's always trying to start a fight, but I was so slow-witted. He said, what's the time, Grebo? And Grebo means somebody greasy and kind of, you know. So what's the time, Grebo? And I said, it's about 3:15. There must be all kinds of hilarious things happened in Liverpool pubs, but I can't, all kinds of scouse witticisms and stuff that we took part in, but I honestly can't remember any of them, no.
Well,
that's
a great
I thought,
shame.
aren't you going to ask me about the thing, you know, the big fight?
The big fight?
The fucking, me going fucking...
Oh, fuck me!
Yeah, you
okay,
fucking useless.
shit, we just... Okay,
Just
last week... I completely forgot about this.
I've been waiting.
Last week, you told us that you are going to compete in your Kung Fu end-of-season tournament thing, and you are going to beat the shit out of a little boy. How did that go? Alexei, how did that go?
It went really badly.
Tell us everything, please.
So, what is it?
Give us context. I don't think I gave the context well.
Yeah. So I'm in the club up in Islington. It's Tiger Crane Kung Fu, and I mostly do Tai Chi style. But the only way you can compete in Tai Chi is to do this thing called push hands, which is where and the push hands that I've always done is that you stand close and you win if you just get somebody to lift their feet, right?
Yeah.
Which was what
move their feet.
Move their feet, which is what I was expecting. But then I saw they taped out this 6-foot square, and they said you have to push somebody out the square or make them touch. I know,
sumo style.
So yeah. So they put me against the next oldest person in the club who's 58 and really very successful businessman, and we just fucking flew at each other. I mean, it was like it's the middle class anger, you know, kind of rage. The first time I managed to get him out the ring, but then I fell on top of him. So that was considered like a draw. I thought like he left the ring, and it was really dangerous because his head just missed a radiator.
Fuck.
And I told everybody when I was going up, I was messing about a bit, which he didn't like really. But I said I was hoping to be put up next, you know, fight a small child. And then he won the next 2 rounds quite easily, really.
Shit.
Yeah. So, but it's that thing as well, isn't it, about, so, you know, you think of you, I mean, you should never really test your abilities, really. I've always thought to myself, I always thought I'm pretty handy, right? You know, I can fucking handle myself. And I'm a businessman who's had a lot of life-threatening illnesses now, I remember, actually. And he fucked me up. He just...
Fuck.
Yeah. So that was a reality check, really. It was, you know, it was a entirely depressing...
Fuck. And how many of you were competing? Overall?
There was, well, the small child, she was in there. She was quite determined, actually.
But like, was there more than 3? So you didn't get a bronze medal by default?
No, I didn't even. No, he did. He got a fucking bronze medal. But no, I didn't. I didn't get any medals at all. No.
Oh, unlucky, man.
Yeah.
Well, if it'll make.
Sorry, thank you. Yeah.
Do you want to beat me up? If it makes you feel better?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, wouldn't mind. Yeah.
Let's do it at the end of the show. We'll do some. You can
right.
teach me push hands.
Oh, yeah, okay. But it's, I thought that, no, it was,
What?
It was a humiliating and humbling experience. Realize I'm not as tough as I think I am.
Well, no, Alexei, listen to me. You're big and strong. You're very adept and very dexterous. And
Well, that's what I thought. I thought, yeah, but I
You
still
are-
can't push the managing director of the modern house out of a 6 foot to give away his identity.
Shit,
I can't push him out of a 6 foot square.
I tried to help. No.
Yeah.
Hey, someone who works here, can you shout out the Wi-Fi password for me?
Mike Fenton Stevens wouldn't be. This is.
I was connected last week. What is it, Becky? Yeah. Yeah. MOC. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Thank you, Becky. Thanks for that. I needed that Wi-Fi password because what are you looking at? I've got some quizzes for you, Alexei. I thought I'd throw a quiz at you. Please connect. Okay. So do you want to do a communist quiz? What dictator are you quiz? What car are you? Or which young ones are you?
I'm obviously JT Below.
No, but what young ones does this quiz think you are?
Oh, right.
Which one do you want?
Let's try the communist quiz, the first one.
All right. Are you a communist or a capitalist? All right. And this, if a question prompts you to then go into a wider kind of rant / discussion, that's the point of this. It's not really about the quiz. It's about what you have to say about it. Question 1. God, I just realized how boring this one is. Question 1. How should a company distribute its profits? All right. There's 4 options, but let's just see what you have to say first.
There shouldn't be any profits. Shouldn't they extracting surplus value from the working class? This is a modern form of slavery, comrades. Wage slavery. So they shouldn't make any profits. Everything should be funneled back to the proletariat. Yeah. From whence it came, who generated...
to the workers or to grow the company better?
So the workers goes back to the workers.
It goes back to the workers.
Comrades.
All right, great. I'm ticking that. That's... Please, internet. Oh, God. All right. This is great. It's completely frozen. While I wait for that to load, why? Why do you think that's...
Fucking, I bet they wish they had Richard Herring.
No, fuck that. They can sit here and watch me wait for the Wi-Fi. Sit here and watch me wait for this Wi-Fi.
I was watching Race Across the World just before I came out. It's really good. And bizarre, I was watching season 1, episode 1, but in the first episode, they bizarrely, 2 women are at Ashford Station, and they bump into Paul Merton.
Oh,
it's like it was very nice to them, and so it's obviously completely fake.
All right, question 2.
It's always lovely to me.
Question 2. What's your view on government involvement in business, Alexei?
Fuck, I'm tired of it. The state should control all means of production, obviously.
All right.
Elected through workers' representatives, historical materialism, proletarian vanguard party of the working class, etc., etc.
This is really good. Yeah. I like what you're doing. All right. How do you feel about taxes? How do you feel about them?
I don't know really.
What do taxes make you feel?
All right, you need some, I think, really. You need some. I don't know. In a communist state, I don't know what the line on taxes is really. Actually.
Okay,
that's a good point.
Okay, I think I've found a relevant answer for that one. Good one. All right, what's your ideal scenario for handling a new public project like a bridge or a road, Alexei?
Oh, fuck off.
Answer the question.
I don't fucking know. Yeah,
funded by the government.
Funded by the government. Yeah.
Public.
Yeah,
okay. All right, we're taking that one.
Yeah. Made by slave labor from the bourgeoisie, intellectuals, and people, producers of Newsnight, who would be forced into prison camps and then forced to make bridges. While whistling the theme from whatever it is. Bridge on the River Kwai.
All right, nearly done. I've answered a couple questions on your behalf here. All right. Come on. Okay, what is your stance on healthcare? This is really dull, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really
What's your stance on healthcare?
I think it's a good thing.
Obviously, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, how do you Alexei, how do you view leadership in the workplace?
How do I view leadership in the workplace? Well, there should be obviously a People's Soviet and a vanguard member of the working class party the Communist Party would be elected, and if people didn't like him, they'd be shot. Something like that.
Should decisions be made democratically
For
by
fuck's sake,
everyone?
are you still going on with this? This is
Nearly done. We're so close. Oh, this is an interesting one. What do you think about personal property, Alexei? What are your thoughts on personal
well,
property?
I think I think well, I don't know. It's one of the contradictions of communist. You know, that people like their shit, don't they? Really, and I think that's. I think people should be allowed, to a degree, should be allowed to have shit, really, because it's like, you know what I mean? I think it went a bit far, didn't it, Mao Zedong and all that? Like, yeah, it went a bit far, you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Mao,
Really
calm
like
down, son, calm down. Don't kill all the sparrows, whatever you do. Don't murder the entire intellectual cadre. Don't, you know, just calm down, son. Just fucking stop it. I did it on, I did it on Sandwich Bar, didn't I? There was that idea that there was a rumor went round that Ho Chi Minh, the leader of the Vietnamese Communist Party, worked as a waiter in a restaurant in Liverpool's Chinatown. And there was also a rumor, which was that Hitler had been there, and certainly his brother Alois had lived in Toxteth in Liverpool in 1912. And but people who said that Hitler had visited Liverpool, they said that when he was on Merseyside, he'd supported Everton Football Club.
So it turns out you're a communist.
Yeah,
That's that.
That'd be fucking. Would have been disappointing if I wasn't. Yeah.
That was our quiz segment, guys.
Quiz segment. Quiz segment.
Quiz segment. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, what's next on the bloody agenda?
Is this going as well as last week, do you think?
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's going good. Oh, good. All right. You haven't gone complacent yet.
Why have you brought a book out with you?
I thought I might, if things flagged, I might do a reading, really, because I thought.
A reading?
Well, it was partly because last week I was talking about stuff, because I'm really, it takes an awful long time to write material for Sandwich Bar. And there's some killer bits that I've got that I can't do. I talked last week, I think, about the Liverpool joke about John Lennon Airport.
No?
Did I talk about that?
Last week? No.
Think I can do that here, Linda? Well, it's just, I used to do it in stand-up, but you couldn't do it on the radio. It's just that Liverpool Airport is actually called Liverpool John Lennon Airport. And it's, as you go in there, just over the door, it's got a quote. It says, Liverpool John Lennon International Airport, above us only sky. And it says the baggage handlers have their own motto, which is imagine no possessions.
That's really fucking
But
good.
I'm fucking so frustrated. It's such a fucking great gag. But I've offended them once. I had to, in 2007, I offended all of Merseyside. And they take, I was doing a book reading in 2004. It was, yeah. I was doing a book reading at the Edinburgh Festival, and somebody asked me, Liverpool had just been appointed the capital of culture. I was being a twat, really, and they said, what do you think about that? And I said, well, what I was trying to talk about was I thought it was like, I didn't really mean it, but I sort of said it was like, it always seemed to me to be a Philistine city, which I didn't really mean. I was trying to talk about, anyway, I don't know what
you said Liverpool seemed to you to be a Philistine
city. Yeah, that wasn't it. So anyway, afterwards I was signing books, and this bloke with kind of food in his beard, and he was standing over me, and he said, I'm the sword of Damocles hanging over your head. And I said, yeah, how'd you spell Damocles? Anyway, it turned out he was a stringer for the Liverpool Echo. And my remarks, they brought out a special fucking supplement. Fuck, it was headlines for 4 days. Liverpool fucking Echo, special supplement on the Saturday my remarks, and I had to go, and it was fucking stupid. It was arrogant. And I mean, it really taught me a lesson. I had to go up there. I was given a tour around the cultural hotspots by the mayor. Well, it was like one of them, like, you know, like it was during the Cultural Revolution. You know, I had to wear this kind of pointed dunce's hat, you know, a kind of reactionary. You know, I just apologized.
You're so cultural, Liverpool. You're so cultural.
It was true. I was being a twat. You know, I was being a prick, and they did. In all fairness, they took because my apology was sincere that they took me to their hearts even more, really. But so I don't know why, but I just thought. So I did. I thought, well, I'm not going to do the baggage handler joke because I think that's gonna be. Shall I read this? Or?
What? No. What?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you are. This is another bit which I think is a great bit. Works really well live. Which, as you'll see, for obvious reasons,
What book
why
is
I
this
can't
from?
do it on the radio. This is my first volume of or memoir, Styling Out My Homework. It was only slowly that I became this is me when I'm about 14 or something. It was only slowly that I became aware of the power of swear words. It was a gradual thing, a creeping realization that blossomed into full comprehension round about my second or third year at grammar school. I heard bigger boys or ones from rough homes use these special, explosive, forbidden expressions. And once the realization of their power dawned, I knew that swearing was a thing that I wanted to be intimately involved in. Once I had got the most powerful obscenities straight in my head, I came home from school determined to try out their effect on my mother.
Oh, poor Molly.
Full of excitement, I sat at the dining table in the living room. Molly put my evening meal in front of me, but instead of eating it, I said, I don't want that. It's fucking shit. Then I sat back, waiting to hear what kind of explosion it would prompt. After all, I conjectured if the bathroom sponge going missing for a few seconds could prompt a screaming fit from my mother, a paroxysm of grief that might involve weeping and howling and crying out to the gods of justice, then me saying fuck and shit was bound to provoke a tremendous reaction that could be heard at the back of the Spion cop. For a short while, nothing happened, as Molly considered what I had said in a calm and reflective manner. Then finally she said, I don't care if you eat it or not, but it's not fucking shit. And if you don't fucking eat it, I'm not going to fucking make you anything fucking else. So you can fucking go and get your own fucking food in some other shit fucking place, you fucking little bastard shit fuck.
Go on, Molly!
After that day, Molly rarely spoke a sentence without an obscenity in it. And I was often too embarrassed to bring school friends home, because I was worried about them being offended by my mother's foul language.
Wow.
You see why I can't do that on Radio 4. So.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give it that. It's a long time.
I need to read that book
sometime.
sometime.
Yeah.
That was fucking great. My mum used to, I go, what's for dinner, mum? She'd go, in Arabic, she'd go, shit and rice.
I remember going round to your house once, and she's showing us, she was in this advert for tinned cheese.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
It's like a tin of cheese.
Kraft tinned cheese. And she'd sit at the end of the
Arabic.
In Arabic advert, yeah.
Yeah.
And she'd sit at the end of the table and the cheese on the other end, so she starts pulling the runner so that the cheese gets
I
closer.
was just in the ad.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And all people keep taking slices, and then by the time it gets to her, there's none left. And she's like, oh, man. As if anyone would want to eat that fucking tinned garbage.
Sophisticated ads they have on
Disgusting.
that Egyptian telly.
Did I tell you about the advert I did when I was a little kid?
No.
Did I not? I've been talking about it a lot lately. I'm surprised I didn't bring it up with you because I had this flashback recently of this ad. So I did an ad. I was like maybe 10, 11, and I was quite big at that age. I was quite overweight, and I got picked on a lot about it, but I always thought it was funny. I didn't realize that they were bullying me. I was like, yeah, you're right, I'm fat, yeah. like, yeah, oh yeah, do you want me to do it again? I like jiggle my belly for them and stuff. And then so I got cast in this advert in Arabic for like the Saudi market. You know, my mum just whored me out to anything that. And it was an advert for milk. And the advert is close up on my face. And I say in Arabic, I can still remember all the lines. I go, يقولوا الخبراء انك تقدر تشرب 15,000 ألف علبة حليب في حياتك بس مين رح يتستنى. And the line in English is, scientists say that you can drink 15,000 cartons of milk in your lifetime, but who's going to wait a lifetime? And while it's going, it's slowly zooming out, yeah? And you see that I'm sitting on a mountain of empty milk cartons. And I finish the carton I'm currently drinking, throw it over my shoulder, but who's going to wait a lifetime? So the joke is, look at this fat kid, he's just drank all this milk. Yeah. I'm just like, this is hilarious. Yeah, I didn't.
I thought the Saudis sponsoring Newcastle United football team was the worst thing they'd ever done.
And they have a rule in Saudi, in because it's Islamic law over there. You're not meant to have, you're not meant to idolize people. So when they have billboards, you can't have like a close up of someone's face because it's seen as kind of glorifying them. So the billboard of me was just like, I was this small. I was like tiny on this mountain of, as if anyone's gonna idolize this fat kid who just drank milk. So here's the thing, I had the flashback of having the harness put on me because they had to put a harness on me and hoist me up on top of this mountain, yeah? We filmed it in like Pinewood or something. It was a London production and it was English crew. And it was these English lads who were fitting me for this harness. And they spent the whole time joking with each other about how fat I was and they're going to need a bigger harness. And they must have thought I didn't speak English because I was just some Arab kid doing an advert. But I was born here and they didn't realize I'm from Ealing, yeah? So they're like, oh my God. They're like, oh my God, this harness. Oh, they didn't tell us they were bringing Jumbo in here. You know, we're going to need a bigger harness, all this stuff. Like, let's get the extra large. And they were like laughing at me about it. Yeah. And I'm sitting there. And that was the first time I ever felt hurt by people, by being body shamed.
Well, I think we're going to have to stop there, but we'll pick this up next week.
It's fucked though, isn't it?
All right, I've got a Kirby Wire story then. They're quite dangerous things.
Well, the harness thing.
The harness and that.
Yeah.
I was when we were filming stuff, and I was going to be hauled up and do something really complicated, quite dangerous. And the bloke operating the Kirby Wire, I'd seen him on the TV the week before, and he was been in a punk band. He's on the Old Grey Whistle Test, and he'd been in a punk band, and their hit single was called. He was in the band. The band was called Stump, and their song was called "I've Got VD." Which just went, I've got VD. And this was the guy. And this was the guy who was going to haul me up in the air. And I had trust issues with him, really.
Right.
Went off. I go, that's weird. It's like, I recognize him. He's in Stump.
Isn't it weird?
Look at VD.
Your life is like in these guys' hands, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And your guy was like a punk singer who sang about VD. Mine were just insulting me about how fat I was. And then now suddenly everything's... And then I'm just looking at them getting smaller as they lift me up. What did you have to do when you were hoisted up?
I can't remember.
Were you like swinging around?
Now. Yeah, I did something.
So people are mean.
Yeah.
Is the moral. Let's get a question from the listeners. I think the audience, before we go, we can have time for a question or two. First hand was back there. Yes, the gentleman in the spectacles on the back right there.
Okay, so I was chatting to my mate Toby before I came out tonight, and he said to me, Alexei, you are his spirit animal. What's your spirit animal?
His mate Toby said, Alexei, that you are his spirit animal. And the question is, Alexei, what's your spirit animal? I have to awkwardly repeat the question for the recording. I do apologize.
I don't. What is a spirit animal? I know I've heard the expression, but I don't really know what it means.
It's like inside of you there is a roaring tiger, or there is a soaring eagle.
Is that what Toby thinks? Is that what?
Inside of him there is you.
Inside of Toby, your mate Toby, there's a big fat Jewish guy in his 70s. He's just been humiliated in front of a room full of people by the managing director of Modern House.
Well, I guess a simpler way to put it is, if you were an animal, if you could be any animal, what would you be?
What, Linda? What's my spirit
Oh,
animal?
for fuck's sake.
Probably a bear because
A bird?
Bear.
Oh, a bear.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you agree, Baloo?
Yeah.
Do you like a prickly pear?
I do like a pear and the paw, whatever. The paw, yeah.
If you pick a pear by the bear paw, then pick a pear. Okay, great. Thank you for the question. You're too far away to throw this. I don't want to blind someone, so come see me afterwards. Other one, yes, please, with the long hair there on the third row.
Thank you. I was watching your first feature film, Repeater, the other day, which you made in 1979 in Cardiff. I wonder if you have memories of making that.
Your first
Fucking
feature
hell.
film, Repeater. What, your memories of making that? I think,
Well, it was
ironically, they
just-
don't repeater that film very much on TV.
Well, it was that
Alexei
was
hates
actually
me.
when I made it. I think just after there was a guy called Chris Munger who directed it, who I'd been in Chelsea Art School with, and it was before I was. I think I made it before I was in the entertainment business. I think.
What?
Or just about getting started, really. So I mean, we had a lovely time. I remember being up in Cardiff. It was really, really nice. And
What was the film about? What was it?
Fuck knows. I don't know what's it about. Is it?
Who
well,
did
is
you-
it made by an art student? Is it about anything?
Well, you were a policeman interviewing a potential hitman
Am I?
who might not have been a hitman, and you had a Russian accent, sort of.
Did I? Because I was also at the more or less that same time. Because I am in a film with Jacob Rees-Mogg.
What? I knew you knew him as a kid, but you're in a film with him.
Yeah. There's genuine. Well, because his auntie Anne Rees-Mogg was the tall film at Chelsea, and she was really the only one of the lecturers that I got on with, and she was obsessed with her nephews, and she used to bring Jacob in.
Yeah, and you've bounced him on your knee.
I've dandled him on my knee, and it is that thing about you know, if you'd met baby Hitler.
Whoops. Whoopsie daisy.
So there is a film. I think you can get it with it. There is a film with. I mean, the stuff that Anne did was very avant-garde. So there is a film somewhere with me and the young Jacob Rees-Mogg. It was actually there was a guy on Crispin Flintoff's show on which is a kind of left-wing YouTube show, or whatever, on Sunday, who'd been at university with Keir Starmer and had actually recruited him into the Labour Party, I think. And what had he done with him? He recruited him to Trotsky's party, that's right. And he made that same remark. He said, if you'd met baby Hitler, he said, well, because Keir Starmer is nothing like Hitler. He said, Hitler had charisma.
And ambition.
So,
drive.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right, another question, please. Yes, please. And then the front. You two, but first you over there, please.
Can you tell us how the...
Oh, you've got a puppy on your lap.
You're the lady with the dog.
What's with the hatred of Ben Elton?
Oh, what's the hatred of Ben Elton? Oh, my God. Well, look, I mean,
He's shit, firstly.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Ben, I made him cry twice, really. It gets...
Wow, I've never seen you squirm this much. I feel like that question is a directing manager of Manor House or whatever it was you said.
I've left that Alexei behind me. But maybe I think Ben was somebody who, really struck attitudes. Kind of was one of, really wasn't one of us, but was really ambitious. And he did things like, he started off pretended to, being left winger, but then later on he went on and did the Royal Command Variety performance, I think, which was a real and sold a lot more books than me, and a lot more. But I had a kind of epiphany, really, and I'd said shitty things about him in interviews, and I just came to realize in a way that that was wrong. Partly it made me look sour, but also that it was wrong to do that, really. And so I actually I bumped into him at a party, this is true, and I made a kind of formal apology to him. I said, I realize I've said stuff about, and I think fame is, not finite. There's enough to go around for everybody, and I'm sorry that I upset you. And he was kind of shocked. He was kind of and in a kind of quid pro quo for me, for my apology, he invited me to the opening night of his Rod Stewart musical. And in those 3 fucking hours, I paid for every shitty thing I've ever said.
Oh, poor you.
So fucking bad. But Stuart Lee hates him as well, so it's not just me. It's a funny, it's a thing you come up with. It's one of the things you have to deal with, I think, as an entertainer, is when you find, so if you're an original voice, you will find somebody who will take what you do. Yeah, this was what I felt, and would simplify it. I'm be much more successful with it. And I think that's what Ben did. Eh? Coldplay. Who did they rip off?
Radiohead.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah.
Thinking of Lana Del Rey, but the Radiohead ripped off the Hollies. We'll do one more question, I think, but before we do that, because we are actually recording the actual podcast, I forgot to do this last week. If you'd like to support the show, we'd love it if you went to patreon.com/alexeisaylepodcast, throw a couple of quid at us every month, and it really helps keep the wheels turning and keeps me in business, and helps one day we'll be more like your friend Mike Fenton. Stevens.
He's in Wicked. He's been in Wicked for 2
Give a
years.
fuck. So support the show. Go to patreon.com/alexeisaylepodcast. I would love that. Thank you. You can email us at alexeisaylepodcast@gmail.com, and we're alexeisaylepod on all the social medias. And if you asked a question today, come see me afterwards. I'll give you a key ring. And one last question, please, before we go.
Yeah, I'm bringing us back to the current affairs. You mentioned about the flight tipping of current government.
Yeah.
The fly tipping.
Yeah.
What is your view about the UK government's positions on the American tariff issues?
Okay, we love you and we really appreciate you being here, but we've gone to a very serious topic.
Yeah.
As our last, I was really thought this would be something very pithy.
I need to get off with a big laugh, and I can't see how.
So, Alexei, to close the show out, what are your views on the American tariffs and the British reaction to the American tariffs?
M3 money supply, and I don't know. I mean, I honestly, I don't know. I mean, I think anybody who seems, I've got nothing for it. I mean, anybody who says they know, I think, what Trump is doing, I think is probably wrong, really. I think it's hard to it's so hard to tell. I mean, the thing that really, is just, yesterday, whenever it was, he did that speech, and he just, that dancing that he does, and he started putting in like hand gestures and stuff. Now he just did that before.
He does this one a lot.
But now he put like a kind of
I think the
kind of like a, and
the
then
village people trained him. I think gave him some tips.
He'll be body popping. He'll be doing like. But I don't know. I
just say they're terrific, and
they're a really bad thing, and Trump's really bad, and I don't know, really. I mean, it's not... it's
Well,
not
we even-
sustainable. And I could give... I mean, it's not sustainable, is it, really? I can't see how.
Well, he reneged most of them, didn't he?
Yeah,
He
yeah, probably.
wound it back in.
Yeah.
Because, he is not the most consistent person.
No.
If you were in a room with Trump,
Surely I could fight him. Do you think?
if you were in a 6 foot
I mean,
square,
that'd be fucking depressing. If I was fucking in a 6 foot
he's very tall though,
square
isn't
with but you use that against him, don't you? Really? I
Yeah.
mean,
he? Yeah.
if I couldn't fucking push Trump out of a 6 foot square, I couldn't call myself a martial artist or a comedian or anything.
All right, one more, guys. One more question. Anyone else? Let's do one more. Yes, please.
T-3476
Oh yeah.
or T-3485?
Wow. Is this a tank? Is this a tank question?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave now. You finish the T34.
Well, you've got to say 85, really, haven't you? In that.
All right, that's the show.
Now this finally got interesting. It's the 76 had the 76mm gun and was the first tank, and then later on, because the Germans with up armored Tiger 1, Tiger 2, Panther needed a bigger gun, and so it was they brought in the 85mm, which was really the apotheosis of the T-34. I think that is what obviously that and then after it really that was the ultimate. So I would have to say 85 all the way for me. I mean, but I did tell this story about I was doing a book reading in Dorset somewhere, and so me and Linda were driving along, and she kept seeing these signs saying Monkey Whale.
It was my birthday.
Oh, was it? Was it your birthday as well?
It's Linda's birthday.
You promised to take me to Monkey World.
Oh,
So he says Monkey Whale, Monkey Whale. Then at the last moment, she sees this other sign pointing that way that says Tank Museum. And that's where I took my wife for her birthday. was the Tank Museum. Got to sit in a chieftain. Saw Tiger 1, Tiger 131, of course.
fucking hell.
Great,
Guys, the show's finished, all right? Thank you very much. Alexei, what's your sign-off?
What do I say? Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, you say.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
bye-bye.
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 Love you guys. Thank you so much, guys. That's been the Alexei Podcast.
You've been listening to the Alexei and Talal Podcast. This show is produced and edited by Talal Karkuti. Music by Tarbush Records. Thanks to Audio Boom for hosting us. Please keep your emails coming in at alexeisaylepodcast@gmail.com. Goodbye.